Why, hello and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings, and we're going to do another thing on RiseToWar for my people who are more into the RiseToWar game. We're going to be taking the Eastern Hills Keep. We're area boar, so that's what we're going to be doing today. It's going to be, I'll make this, probably like a 30-minute video. So we'll be taking that in about 10 minutes, or 10 to 20 minutes. I might do a little skip of time. But anyway, let me just kind of show you what's going on. So as you can see, we have all our forts here for people who don't know what this game is. But I'm assuming if you're watching this, you probably know what this game is. You're probably part of our fellowship, maybe even our Division 55 fellowship. So, yes. And again, if you are my more Lotro-loving crowd of Voice of the Rings, you're welcome to join us and see this if you want. If you don't feel bad. Just remember, keep like and subscribe, everyone, and I'll have more content of everything coming out. I would have made this either way, so don't worry, this isn't taking up any other videos. Alright, because I was going to do this anyway, I was like, I'll make a video, so you guys can see what we're doing in this game. We actually are having a little bit of excitement happening right now. Again, this game is a little slower paced than other games, because it's like a big strategy risk game, right? So, here's what we're doing. So we're going up to take this land up here that no one owns. It's kind of a neutral territory right now. And then we are right now moving to get to the ring, which is one of the main goals of the end game content. And we have a couple of our awesome fellowship members. And fellowships in this game, RiseToWar, are basically a guild, right? Or a kinship, if for my Lord of the Rings Online friends. So right now we have the elves sneaking in. We're building a fort right now. When this fort is up, all of our fellowship can get here with an army and then build a fort. But it's 3 hours, and the elves are sneakily moving in very quickly to try to defeat us, which we are going to try to prevent. So, that's what we're working right now, thanks to our friends here, Storm and Colmo. They both got here early, and I like how they named their places accordingly, first and second. Okay. But as you can see, the elves are quickly taking up neutral land to try to get here. We don't have too many armies here, but they do have their armies here, which is good. And Landis is also here. These are different names, right, of their faction. I mean, it's their character name, right? We control a base, right? It's like a whole little country kind of thing. Hence mine, Voice of the Rings, right here. But it's pretty far away. And unfortunately, the way this game works is you have to have a fort, which are these circle areas, to be able to travel around. And right now, I only have, as you can see, kind of spread across the map, but of my territories and stuff, and through into Central Mirkwood. But I don't have any here. So until we build one of these blue forts, as you can see here, you have a blue fort. Until we build one here at the ring, I can't travel there unless I build forts all the way, and I won't be able to get there in time. Building a fort takes like 2 hours. So anyway, that's the kind of stuff everyone has to think about. Here's the world map, by the way, so you can kind of see what's going on in the world of RiseToWar. I always want to say Battle for Middle-earth, even though that's already another Lord of the Rings game, which we all love, I'm sure, if you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, as you can see, we've got stuff going on, battles. I'm not going to say anything with politics, who's on what sides or whatever, because this is live for everybody and I don't want to give anything away from my fellowship. But as you can see, though, one thing I do know is I think from enemies' perspective, I think that Lyndon and Arnor might be allies. I don't know. Some of them said that, some of them didn't. I don't know. That's a guess. I have no idea. But Mordor and Gondor are going at it down here. They're battling. That's kind of cool. Anyway, but we are going to be taking this fort right now, and that's what I want you guys to see, because you're going to see mass army movements, which is kind of fun to see. In this game, it's probably the most excitement you'll see when you're having a battle or a mass army taking something. But we will all be attacking this, and as you can see, everywhere there's little dots of units, the little numbers, that's an army. So, like, for example, that one fort, that's not one person, but there's a bunch of people sitting on that fort. There's 33 armies in it. Mine has 4 armies. My dot's in a different spot because it's mine. And as you can see, a lot of these are our fellowship. So our fellowship are the blue. Our faction, which are also our allies, are the purple, and I'm the green. So we're going to take this keep, the Eastern Hills Keep. Again, they've done a pretty cool job in this game. They just added a new thing. They added Gundabad Fort. It used to be just Gundabad Keep last season in Season 1. We're in Season 2, by the way, for those who might be wondering. Yeah, so it's kind of cool. They based it off the movie. So, like, Now, and where it's based too, right? They based it here in this location. Realistically, Gundabad, like the dwarven settlement, would be up here in the top of the Misty Mountains, somewhere settled in here. But they just said I think they opted to make the spot, the control point, was the like an evil keep. You know what I mean? Especially also because it's close to the Agmar capital. I think they wanted to make it kind of like that. So, and in the Hobbit they showed that one keep, right? So in the movies, so I think that's where they're trying to hold true to with the movie more with this. Looks like Agmar's probably gonna try to take that, but it's a little early in the game for us to take these size fortresses yet for everybody. And then yeah, it's getting kind of cool. So, for example, that's why we haven't taken Central Mirkwood yet. It's it's a pretty strong keep compared to the one we're taking back here, the Eastern Hills. They actually have different levels. So, this one's level 40 heroes, 20 of them, 20 armies with level 40 defenders. You can get your hero up to level 50 every season, so that's kind of gives you a lay. So it's pretty high. Like, for example, I don't even have a level 40 hero yet. My highest is like 38, 39 or something. And then like the Central Mirkwood, it's even a harder keep to take because it's closer to the ring, closer to the objective. Level 48 defenders, 45 armies, so a lot harder. And then let's compare it to the objective. Dol Guldur, the ring, right? It has level 50 defenders, 80 armies, so it's an end game objective, right? And it's got 80 million HP to take out with sieging. Sieging is a little bit different than the armies. You have to defeat the armies to siege, for people who don't know this game. But if you do, I don't need to explain that. And then we've got Mordor, right? Which is, let's just see some cool keeps real quick. I have time, right? Yeah, we got time. Let's look at some stuff. All right, so here's the capital of Mordor. With the music changes a little too. It's kind of cool. I think that's cool. Whenever you move in the game, wherever you're looking, the music changes accordingly. I think that's a pretty cool addition. Look at this. So Barad-dûr, right? The Eye of Sauron. Again, the ring isn't here because the point is we're all fighting for the ring. It's in Dol Guldur, and it's a good central midpoint because this game is very risk-like in the way you're taking areas, fighting for things, that kind of stuff. All right, let's check out Osgiliath, right? I like saying that. It's a good name. Yep, there it is. A ruined city. Gondor hasn't taken it yet either, near his Mordor. It's pretty strong. As you can see again, level 45 defender, 30 armies. It's a pretty powerful control point. Let's look at Ministerius. So this was when I played Gondor in Season 1, so this was our capital. Very nice, very pretty. And then we can hop down and see, there we go, Pelagrin. There it is, right there. It's pretty cool to be able to see that. We see this a lot in Lord of the Rings Online, you guys. By the way, I can make a tour of this place in Lord of the Rings Online if you want. It's actually a very cool place in Lord of the Rings Online. It's very cool. I'll be having more Lord of the Rings content coming out on the Lord of the Rings Online MMO soon too, you guys. So, and also, I don't know if you guys have heard, for maybe my RiseToWar fans, if you don't play Lord of the Rings Online, you guys should come over and join us, because most of our fellowship here on Voice of the Rings, a lot of us do Lord of the Rings Online. That's a lot of my main content, but I've really been enjoying this Lord of the Rings game too. That's why we're doing this excursion on this playlist. But if you do want to come join us, it's a lot of fun. Lord of the Rings Online is awesome, so you should check it out. All right, here's Dol Amroth, also beautiful in Lord of the Rings Online, and I think very well done in this game. So, and interesting, they even have a tree here in the little thing. It's not the white tree of Gondor, but it's just kind of cool that they had that idea. They really have thought about a lot in this game. It's pretty cool. Let's just check out a few more places, just for fun. A few more iconic. These keeps look a little different because they're nicer. There we go. Oh, okay, so this keep, interesting enough, it has a special name. It doesn't say keep, but it looks like one of the generic keeps. For example, if you go to another one, let's say one of the dots, this dot right here. See, so that's a generic keep. It says at the place Nan Lefnuin Keep. I think I said that right. See, it's the generic look. So this is like a copy. So some are specialized to look really cool and some are not. But like, okay, the capital of Edoras. This is very cool. All right, let's look at this one. There it is. There's Edoras, home of the Horse Lords. And again, if you really want to look at it nice, you can pause the video and look at it for a second. I want to spend like an hour staring at it. But there's the Dunharrow, right? Kind of cool. There's even little things. What I find cool is like the Stone of Erich, right? Like the big black stone where they originally did the oath, right? It's really tiny, but like there it is. There it is. Little tiny stone. All right. And now let's check out what's this one right here? Helms Deep. Oh, we gotta look at Helms Deep, right? Absolutely. There is Helms Deep. See, so a lot of them are more based off the movie, but still really well done. You know, I really like what they did. Here's Orthanc. I missed it slightly when I clicked apparently, but there it is. The capital of Isengard faction. All right. Let's see, what else can we pop and look at here real quick? We looked at Duldur. Let's go to the capital of the elves here. Carith Galahorn. It's very pretty, very Lothlorien. You notice the music? The change? I think it's kind of cool that they do that. Make sure you guys can hear that. Alright. What else could we look at real quick here? We're going to start that attack here in about 5 minutes. So let's look at a couple more places and then kind of just thought it'd be fun to make a video like this. Look at admire this game's art. Obviously Moria. Look at how nice that is. I like that it's just part of the mountain and they basically just did the Great Door. And if you noticed, I think they took inspiration from Lord of the Rings Online's version of the door. Again, it has the look of Tolkien's inscription, but that it's this glowing blue like in the movie, but even more so like Lord of the Rings Online. There it is. It's very, very pretty. Very hard point to defend, attack, but then again, it's really, you're taking this whole mountain, right? And then if you notice, when you get it, you actually can cross through the mountain. There's these little blocks to the tunnel on the other side, which you can take too to get to attack the fort. Kind of a cool little mechanic. And then there's also a neat little spot right here. In a region, we have Durham's Tower. It's the reason they didn't put it on the mountains. I know everyone's like, what? Why is it on the ground? Like, it should be at the highest point of the mountains in the middle. Because the way the game works, the mountains are a divide, and I think they want people to take it. But realistically, it should probably be like, you know, on one of these like highest mountains up here in the middle, you know. But these are supposed to be a breakpoint. You can't cross these without having a fort. Your character can cross if you have something to go to, but you can't just travel. You have to use one of the tunnels, which are these little circles all over the map, or the little crossings at waters, which are the anchors. Look, you're learning as we go. Let's look at Rivendell. Interesting, Rivendell's kind of moved out from the mountain too. Do you notice that from location? But it's near mountains though, so it's really pretty though. That's one of their special keeps. And then the elves have a lot of cool keeps. They also have here they start with this land, with the Elven Halls and Mirkwood. So basically, the Lothlorien team is basically Rivendell, Lothlorien, and Mirkwood. And then there's one other elf team, which is another one they've added in Season 2, which I'm glad it feels more balanced. They added Gil-galad's people, right? The High Elves, the Elves of Lindon. You know, it's called Lindon, the faction. But, you know, the Grey Havens and stuff. So let's look at the Grey Havens. Grey Havens are really cool. And that's not the Grey Havens at all. Apparently, I misclicked and hit the thing behind it. There. Oh. We'll get there eventually, my friends. So there it is. There's their capital for Lindon. It's very pretty. It definitely is inspired by the movie, the way they did like the little one spot to come out and this big open area. But they really did do some extra work on this, so I appreciate the extra work they put into that. They did a very good job with geography in this game. So Numenos. This is Arthedain, I believe, is the what the faction's called, which is right. Technically, it's Arnor, right? But at the same time, that's right because it's one of the Arthedain is one of the smaller countries that splits apart later, right? When they're fighting the Witch King, and there's a bunch of stuff that happens. It's like 2,000 years in the history, but Arthedain is one of 3 sons countries that split off from the main country of Arnor. They split into 3, and then the Witch King attacks, and like Arthurian's one of the big ones that has like the main claim to the bloodline, basically, of the kings, I believe. They all had a claim, but they were the most, you know, they won out probably. All right, let's look at the Shire real quick. All right, we got 5 minutes, and we're going to start that attack, so we can't look at them anymore, but there's the Shire, very inspired by the movie. As you can tell, there's Bag End up at the top. I know it's a little small. I can't zoom in more than this. I'm using BlueStacks on the computer. You can't zoom in much more either on the phone, but again, this is designed to be a phone game, so it looks pretty darn good on the big screen, I must say. Bree, that's pretty cool. There's a lot. I think we looked at almost at 2/3 of the places that have visual look, but they added Fornost this season from season 1, which is nice because I was a little upset so that looks really good, the ancient fortress city of Arnor. They didn't. Now, one thing that's funny for me is I keep saying this, North Downs, guys who make this game, all right, this should be a Stelden. It should be the Rangers hideout fort. It shouldn't just be a generic keep. It should be a Stelden. You play the Lord of the Rings online, you all know what I'm talking about. All right. And then Weathertop. It's a little tiny place, kind of like the stone of, see, little tiny little watchtower, right? Kind of looks like the movie, right? Lord of the Rings Online makes it more to what you think it is in size. The movie seemed a little small to me in this, but it's still both good, both good. All right, well, we're gonna have to go start the battle. So you guys ready to see us take the keep? Here's Cardoom. You just throwing that out there for all my Angmar lovers. All right, time for battle. So you're gonna get to see us be our dwarven selves as we take this. We going to smash this keep. The elves are being stinkers. Oh, here we go. I guess we're attacking. Alright, well, okay. We're gonna attack with Ballin first. So I clicked it. I have my army there. Alright. And I'm gonna attack with Gimli. I think I'm gonna wait with the other two because they're weaker. I'm just gonna use these to help attack the keep itself, and then I'm going to siege with the other armies. Again, this keep has 25 million health. So we have to defeat the 20 armies with level 40 leaders. Then we have to siege it down, right? And each of our commanders only has a certain amount of stamina and a certain amount of siege potential, right? Like my best one is like 70,000, I think. So I could be able to hit it like 5 times with that army, but still, we need a lot of people here to defeat it. And here we go. As you can see, all our armies are converging. This is a very cool... Again, we had to plan this from all our dwarven armies. This is going to go down fast. We have a lot of people here. But we had to plan this because it's really cool. Our fellowship has people from literally all over the world of players. We have people like everywhere, right? All over the North America, all over Europe, some in Asia. Like, we have people from everywhere. Italy, Russia, Germany, England, America, Canada, probably Mexico. I haven't met anyone, but just all over Europe too. I'm sure I've missed like 25 places. We have a huge diverse group of people, which is kind of cool, but it's a little hard to get timing, right? Because for me, I'm doing this at like 11 o'clock in the morning, right, a.m., and some of these people are doing this in like the evening at 11 o'clock, right? So we have to find a good time that everyone can do it. But all right, so now we'll talk about this going on here. So everyone's hitting it, so I'm gonna click it again. As you can see, already 2 armies already dead. They will recover in an hour. They will respawn all the armies, but we will easily have that 25 million destroyed before they respawn those armies. All right, Ballin has attacked. My dwarf has attacked. All right, he just took on 2 armies. He killed the first one, and then he took the second one here, so he did pretty good. Okay. Ha-ha! And now there are, whoever does the most siege damage, the top 3, and whoever does the most damage to the army's top 3, get a little, like, thing, their name put on it for taking it the first time, which is kind of fun. Alright, so Gimli just did way too much damage. being that he did so much damage that he kills so many armies that he ends up getting pushed out. Like, because if your hero's army all dies, he gets sent back to the fort anyway, and he did so much damage. Look at that, 133,000 just Gimli, right? His army did 73, and then he fought a second army, and well, he fought a slightly stronger, and then he didn't get to as much, and his army all died. So, yikes, it happens. Ballin's a little bit more conservative in his damage, so he usually can take a couple more hits. He's a little bit tankier. Gimli is like my super glass cannon. He does lots of damage and dies very fast because of it, so I have to give him tons of tanks in his army. Once I get the tier 4 dwarves, though, we're gonna have some fun with that. Alright. Sweet. Alright, so the armies are going to basically be gone soon. See, we can already see, well, the records aren't, those will be the records. It's kind of fun, but I'm going to go ahead and send my next armies to siege, because those armies will be gone anyway in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and send my Dane. Oh, yes, I have Dane now. He's not high enough level as my other ones yet, but he's getting there. And then Dwellin has some Bjornings, and I'll have a camp. They have high siege, so I have those with them. Alright, and actually, I'm going to go ahead and pull him out. We don't need to wait 3 minutes, because, as you can see, there was a lot of people sitting in that fort. It's kind of absurd how many dwarves are walking. So you can see all the arrows going back and forth, going to and from it. How many armies are in there fighting right now? 16 of our fellowship, 7 of our faction, and then a whole lot of other armies. This is kind of hilarious. This is so many. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. It's actually hilarious. I've never seen this many armies attack something at once. It's already dropped down 1 million health, and we are going to do a lot more. I'm going to go ahead. He has 7 minutes before he's rehealed. I don't even know if I'm going to send him troops, but I'm going to go ahead and refill him anyway. 12 minutes just in case. So I'm sending forces from my place, right? So if you see this green arrow, it's getting a little laggy because there's so many people. But unfortunately, my computer's really good, but BlueStacks, the application, it's a little bit wanting. It's a little bit glitchy sometimes, so that's what I'm worrying about right now. Oh, you know what? I just realized I'm a little smaller than it should be. There we go. That's better. I'm a little closer to you guys now. And then I was like, I look a little far away from the camera. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. So 6 minutes. He'll be able to attack again, but I don't even know if he'll need to attack again, because in 6 minutes, I think we might have it dead. So it's at 22 million now. By the way, I want to show you what I was talking about real quick. We're going to hop from where we are. So we're here attacking that keep, right? I want to hop up to here at Eastern Mithrin Keep. So if I actually click on this record thing, or no, that's not it. Is it? I have to go to it. There's actually a little thing for that first strike. And I'm very proud of that. My Gimli did a lot of damage to the armies here, and we didn't have as many people attacking it, but there's Voice of the Rings with almost 400,000 damage to the armies. So this is very impressive, by the way. Chell is our leader right now of our guild fellowship. He's doing an excellent job, I must add. But Voice of the Rings, we have a lot of really good leaders, though. Like, he's holding our position leadership in the fellowship, but we have like five, maybe 10 leaders from about, because we've converged a bunch of factions from our server 55. We're on a new server because it merged us, by the way. I can get you guys that. I think it's 013, I think. But I'll leave a comment later for that. So don't just go grab a random server and then be like, Voice of the Rings told me the wrong server. They're not on that. I'll look that up for you guys later. You can leave a comment too if I forget. If you guys are interested in joining us and playing. There will be more room in the faction when we get to a certain point. I'm going to go ahead and refill Ballin's army. Again, I don't think he's going to be able to have army in time to even attack again, because I think we're going to slaughter it that fast. Oh, wow. Well, I have no more Guardians right now, but I could send him a bunch of axe throwers. Sure, why not? Give him 80,000 siege potential. I could probably send him some Bjornings, but if I added another unit, it makes it longer to reinforce. So Okay. Yeah. Ooh, look at that. It's a little laggy. It's a little laggy. I'm only getting a couple frames here. It's alright though. The recording's not lagging. I look great. My camera's not lagging because nothing's wrong with my computer. It's just BlueStacks. But yeah, look at that. So again, this thing is getting destroyed. We are smashing this thing. Fear the dwarves. And again, we are from many different factions on our original server from season 1. So we got a lot of people together and we're like, let's make a faction with the merge and we'll be ready and organized and strong. So a lot of us were the top 3 factions that were fighting in season 1, right? It was the elves, the dwarves, and Gondor, really. So that's most of our group. And then we also got people from a couple of other factions that wanted to join us who also were honorable and fighting well. But we were the 3 big ones that we had a lot of people playing. That is kind of needed in this game. You kind of have to have a good team. You got a lot of people in RiseToWar. It depends on the server size too, right? So if your faction has 20 people and the enemy faction has 20 people, then it's pretty balanced. But if you have one faction that has 100 active players and another faction that has 10, no matter how good that 10 players are, they're not really going to be able to keep up just because it's a numbers game at that point, right? They might be able to do some stuff still, especially if, let's say, there's another faction that has 80 players and another faction that has 50 players, then there might be like a good balance where if they team up and make an alliance, they could do stuff. You know what I mean? So it would be balanced then, but still, that's kind of how it works. All right, I'm gonna send Dane back in. I need to stop talking. Go, Dane. Attack again. Again, I don't think I'm gonna be needed. I'm curious to see who's gonna actually like get those rewards though. Who hits the most? I think some people had like 6 armies here. I only had 4. So probably the people with the vast amount of armies are gonna get the top spot, right? With the things. You can see these are all the people's armies that are fighting and doing damage. So we're at 12 million out of 25 million. So we should be done in just a few minutes. And then I have reinforcements on both of these guys in 7 and 8 minutes coming. But probably won't really matter. I think we'll have it before then. Yeah, it's kind of cool to see that though. Again, if you look at the bottom left, BlueStacks really has a hard time sometimes when there's a lot going on. Getting like 5 frames. That's why it looks a little laggy. Though of course I don't look laggy. I look great in the corner here. But yeah, so. And again, there's a lot of settings, and for you guys who use BlueStacks, I'm thinking I might try another program too. There's a lot of settings in BlueStacks to up it, like give it more cores to use and all this stuff. But there's a cap, unless you guys, if you guys know about this, please leave a comment. It would be really helpful to me. But there's a cap to how much RAM it can use. It can only use 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it will not let me increase it. I've looked at all the settings. I've looked at some videos online, and I have like 32 gigabytes of RAM on my computer, so I could be using way more RAM. So again, it could also be the application. It's designed for a phone, and since I'm using it on a computer system, it doesn't do as good. There's a couple reasons, right? But that's not important. Let's finish our battle here. All right. I just wanted to make sure you guys know, if you're wondering, like, it's being a little laggy, that's the reason. It's not my fault. I've done everything to try to fix it. My computer is running perfectly with like only 20% use right now, so on everything. I've checked all the things. I'm quite computer savvy. Alright. Pretty cool. You can see the little thing pinging. So I'm going to go ahead and send Zollin again. He's ready to go again with his Bjornings. He's got 83,000 siege, even though his combat power is only 33,000, and that's because he has Bjornings. They have crazy siege. Dwarves do too. Guardians are like one of the best siege units of just a generic unit you can get without hiring or tier 4. Guardians are really crazy at sieging, which is the top tier tank unit in dwarves. Here, let's I'm gonna recall him with a free recall back to the fort so he can walk there before it hit one more time before it's done. Go, Dane! And see, realistically, if I wanted to try to get in the top siege or something, what I could have done was I could have held all my armies back, let them destroy all the things, and then just sieged with all 4 of my armies. And then I might have gotten the top of the sieging, but that's not cool. I'm one of our higher level players. I had to hit him with my first armies. Otherwise it wouldn't be cool. You know what I mean? It's just not here. We're not just here for glory. We're also here for being a dwarven alliance and smashing our enemies. All right, sweet. Yeah, it's going down fast. This is crazy. We've only been doing this for about 10 minutes, you guys, and we're at 4 million. It's gonna go down in a second. I don't even know if Dane's gonna hit it in time. There's so many armies going at it. And then we're all gonna have to be like, Baruch Hazard in the chat, in the world chat, and be all excited about it. Anyway, I really enjoy this game because I really enjoy it. Sometimes a slower game too. You know what I mean? And by the way, I play fast games. I love a good fast game. Like I might not seem like it. Some of you might not know this, but I'm actually quite a big League of Legends player. I'm like I've played League since it was just beta. So I play faster paced games. You know, it's like a 30-minute game and you're just doing it fast, everything's fast as you can move kind of stuff. But I like a good slow game too, like this, where you're strategizing with your friends, like a Risk board, and like Lord of the Rings Online, where it's kind of a middle ground game. It's fast when you're fighting, but then you're questing, you're chilling, and you're enjoying the views, that kind of thing. Like all of them are good. They're all good games. I like a good reflex game then sometimes too, like doing as fast as you can. All right, sweet. So 2,400,000. We're doing it. I wonder if my guy can hit one more time before. There's a lot of people hitting it right now, but he might be able to. I'm actually going to waste a 5 speed just to see if he can hit one more time. Oh, this is the only thing that's a little annoying, is when there's so many armies, it's hard to click the objective. I'm not sure he's going to be able to hit it, but we'll see. Yeah, see, we're under 1 million now. There's probably another 9 armies that are going to need to hit it, 9 or 10. And it looks like there's a couple more hitting it right now. So I'm not sure Dolan even get there. But we slaughtered this thing. We are destroying. That's awesome. And then we will be heading. There it is. Oh, and look at that. Factions Arise. We actually passed one of the objectives just now. Cool. Sweet. We actually, okay, so what we just did was we actually finished this. We had to control 45 regions as a whole server, and we just got the 45th region, so that's kind of cool, which means we now have the availability of all these things, and we get a free limited chest for a time. We get structures and landmarks. Occupied factions begin producing power. That's really cool. So if you notice, my power just went up from 21,000 to 28,000 because our production of all the points we control, keeps and stuff, all just went into all of our banks, basically. So now I have a bunch more production per hour, which is really cool. Our rings are going to start going up faster, which that's really helpful in this game. But we did it, though. Now we got to say it. Nice, guys. We did it. We got to be like the ultimate dwarf, guys. We have to say Baruch Kazad. Kazad! Baruch Kazad! Kazad, I menu! Alright. Yeah. Alright. We've got to do our little dwarven area boy. Maybe a little beer. There we go. You're welcome, server. We got to 45 places. Alright, sweet. We got a little bit of our talking. Let's look at the numbers here. Who got what now? Oh! Oh, look at that! I actually got in the top 2 for sieging with just my 2... I mean, for killing armies with just my 2 guys. Oh my gosh. Gimli and Balin. Don't underestimate Gimli and Balin, you guys. Because Balin's a baller, and Gimli just destroys things. So, Chusen is our other really high-level player. He did a lot, 646,000. I would wager he probably hit it with 3 or 4 armies. The beginning, I only hit it with 2. I got 415, with only 2 armies. So I did actually slightly better on the other keep, right? Because I did, what, 390 on the other keep? And the siege, though, people who had 6 and 7 armies here beat me. Obviously, I was using my 2 weak armies to siege, so. But I helped. But that's kind of fun. It's kind of, I mean, I got in the second. That's kind of fun to get on the leaderboards, right? I mean, I do put a lot of time into this game, too, as well as I do in other games. We did earn something, though, just now. Oh, yes, we earned 200 gems, too, for finishing that server objective that you saw. That's good. That's good. All right, so everyone has their forces now. I'm actually going to pull everybody back to my base. So what I do is go back to your base here. I'm going to summon back my dwarves here. There we go. If you notice, it's not as laggy now because there's not a billion people moving around and BlueStacks can keep up, I guess. Again, too, it's calculating for a lot of people moving, like, from, you know, all over the inner, like, see, so now everyone's just pulling back to their bases. As you can see, hundreds of dwarven warriors are victoriously going back to celebrate in their dwarven keeps that they took a new land. And by the way, here you go, so you get a satisfying victory. There's our blue section, right? We took that area just now. It puts a little flag on there so that everyone else can see for a couple hours. Kind of like it shows when Lyndon got this one a couple hours ago. Yep, well, there we go. Very cool, very cool. So, it's kind of fun, and we will be trying to take this one in a day or so. I don't know exactly when, but we'll see. It's kind of fun, though. Oh, look at this. Exotic treasures. So this is a new thing they did. It's actually an equipment thing. A lot of people, we're not quite sure about this. 50 draws for 1 flawless. This is a very low chance to get a flawless usually. It's like 2%, but 50's a lot. Seems a little much, you guys. This is to the people making the game a little bit too much money, I think. Just a little bit too much. Because again, you could buy these things, right, and put money into the game to support it. And I've put money into this game in order to support it. But I don't think I'm gonna do this one just because I don't, you know, I'm not rich, you know. I like to put a little money into my games to have fun, but I'm not going to be spending like hundreds and hundreds of dollars in it, especially because technically it's a phone game, right? I kind of justify putting more money into a game I play a lot that's on a computer. You know what I mean? That's a game like, you know, Lord of the Rings Online or other games where I'm like, I'm going to use that a lot forever. But again, the nice thing about this game is I'm sure it will be around for many years because people are loving it and they're doing a really good job with it, and it doesn't feel pay to win, which I love about this game. But if you do want to support it, you do want to pay for it. It does help to have the extra respect for your heroes and better items for later, because that is the big thing that comes over each season. Everything else resets, but your items and your heroes' respect doesn't. But anyway, you guys know that. If you're watching this, you probably already know that. All right, anyway. Oh, look at obstacles. Oh, wow. Well, that's cool. I got a bunch of little things to open here. Look at all this free loot. All this stuff. Wow, they're giving me gems, too. That's so cool. I do like, though, I must say that I got a oh, and they gave me a Matham coin. That's cool. I do have to compliment this season. They've been giving a lot more free gems and a lot more free Matham coins for objective you do and things personally and with a fellowship. I approve of this. Voice of the Rings approves of this because it felt like a little bit they were a little stingy on that the other season. So, but this one they feel like they're giving out more stuff. And it's not a crazy amount, but they're giving out more, right? They give you like a few dollars here and there of free loot or whatever. In-game loot, right? So I got 1 free coin, so let's roll it. Want to see? Maybe we get something cool for our stream, or maybe just terrible. Just terrible. 1 more. I'll use 400 gems just for you guys. Yeah, no, okay. We're going to stop right there before it. All right. Well, anyway, that was fun, my friends. We took the keep. Thank you for joining me today. If you joined us for this episode of Voice of the Rings, I'm going to be teleporting. If you enjoyed this, leave a comment. But again, I'll have more content of my normal stuff coming out. So do not forget to check out the other playlists that'll pop up. Don't forget to subscribe and like. It really helps out my channel. I appreciate it, you guys. I want to do a quick little shout out to my Patreon, which where's my there it is. Thank you so much to my Patreon. You rock. I appreciate your support. It's awesome. If you guys want to support me or join our Discord, Voice of the Rings, stuff down there. Our private Discord for Voice of the Rings. And then I've got free stuff, Twitch and Twitter and all that kind of good stuff down there too. All right, subscribe button will be right there. Next episode for this playlist, Excursion will be up there, and a Lotro Tale, our main playlist on this series, and Lord of the Rings Online will be over there. So you guys have a wonderful day in Middle-earth. I'm your hosting guide, Zollin, Ironshield as always, and I will see you in the next episode of Voice of the Rings.